Okay, there we go. Let's get this going here, guys. Sorry about that. I had a little glitch on the audio. So, as you guys may have heard, there is a order from the judge.
My ass.
By the way, yes, Cheshire, and I got Cheshire and the wonderful Red's Rhetoric in here as well. But we're not going on camera because, well, we just don't want to today. But let me turn that audio off there. So now you guys should be able to hear me. But as you guys may have heard, there was an order from the court today. It is good and bad, mostly good. But like any court thing, there's always a downside. And the downside here, I'm going to tell you right up front, is basically it's going to take a little longer. But hey, I've already waited 600 days since Kyle Curtis said he was going to pay me my money, which was at the time $30,000. 600 days since Mr. Atheist said I was going to get paid, and Godless Engineer and Kate and Chloe and all those people that said I was going to get my money, that, oh, you'll get your money, Steve. It's been 600 days. That's a year and a half, people. Haven't seen a dime yet.
Duper, like super moral people who get to dictate to other people how they should behave and what words they should and should not use.
Yeah.
And, those really, really moral people who still haven't, apologized to the Non-Sequitur Show fans or you, because their dislike of you justifies their behavior and has absolutely nothing to do with morality whatsoever.
And it's the fact they they never once apologized for falsely accusing me of committing any type of fraud, medical or otherwise, and sending things to the wrong address and all these other things that Unirock and those people over there on that side of the fence falsely accused me of. Nobody apologized for that, not one person. Shocking to nobody, I'm sure, right? But let me give you a brief synopsis. Actually, you know what? Since Reds is here, Reds, you're pretty good at this. You want to give a too long didn't read before we get in the order here of what actually happened with the Non-Sequitur Show? Since you were there from the very beginning, you were literally an integral part of this, and you know the ins and outs just as good as anybody else. But we have probably new people that are going to be finding this channel. Can you kind of give a backstory of the Non-Sequitur Show and what this lawsuit's about?
So basically, you want me to grind down Mount Everest to just a...
Keep it under 15 seconds, please.
...pile of shit.
Yeah, that's
never send a Reds to do a goblin's job.
I hope you have your diamond pickaxe handy, Steve.
You have a way with words, Reds. You could do this.
Okay, all right, let's see. Okay. So once upon a time, there was a show called the Non-Sequitur Show. It was very successful. Kyle got involved with some dipshits that hated Steve for whatever fucking reason, and Kyle, for whatever fucking reason, decided to listen to them. By listening to them, he decided to make the stupidest fucking move ever imaginable and kick Steve off of a very successful show. This, in turn, led to a downward death spiral of the Non-Sequitur Show, which resulted in Steve McRae saying, actually, no, go fuck yourself, and hit the ejection seat right into the lap of a lawyer, who then turned around and sued his ass. So during litigation, Kyle lied to the internet. He lied to the court, was exposed as a liar, both in the deposition and with subpoenas. And now here we are, after the judge basically said that Kyle can go fuck himself, saying, hey, Steve, I have a question for you. Can you write for me back in legalese terms through your lawyer that you still want Kyle to go fuck yourself? And that's what we're reading right now. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty up to date. Let's get it on record, though, that it is, in fact, this is already in the court records. It's already been determined. Just to give a brief synopsis, there's been several filings, 53, I believe, already, over a 2-year period. But the court had by default judgment said that the things that Kyle is found liable for is fraud, fraudulent conversion, which is basically the civil equivalent of embezzlement, unfair and deceptive trade practices, breach of fiduciary duty, breach of contract, and unfair enrichment. These are pretty heavy things. Now that is already in the record.
By the way, hang on. Some people said that my audio sounds like I'm talking inside of a tin can's asshole, so hopefully it's better now.
That's just how Red's voice is.
Was Meats using the wrong
source
microphone?
Yeah, they were, but
well, they sound good now. Yeah, you don't sound like you're in a box.
Yeah, that's so much better.
All right, so those are things already in the court record. Now, what's up for kind of review here is that during the process of the court, Kyle had submitted things trying to run it. Okay, well, long story short, I got a default judgment against him because he didn't reply to the original service. He didn't want to do anything in the case. He didn't want to have it. He didn't care, and so I won by default. Then he had a wild harebrained idea because people had been talking to him, and I'm not gonna throw any names out there, but I'm gonna assume that it had to do with some kind of dishonest lawyers out there and people that wanted to say, hey, Kyle, why don't you fight this by trying to get the default judgment overturned? So he came up with a harebrained concoction scheme to say that he wasn't living at the place that he originally served at, and therefore the default judgment should be set aside. That didn't fly. I was saying from day one that he was properly served. Unirock and a couple other people, like a dishonest lawyer out there named Nate, was trying to run the narrative. I did name him, I don't care. Did try to run a narrative that I had Kyle deliberately improperly served, and I sent it to the wrong address just to get a default judgment. Now, anybody who's involved in the court case that's willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars, even though I have this court case paid for, knows that that is not how you do a court case. Nobody's going to do something at the very beginning so stupid to try to send a default, send a service to somewhere to try to get a default judgment. That doesn't happen. That's just ridiculous from the onset that somebody's going to think that. But Kyle thought this was a good idea. He thought it was a good idea that he could try to convince the judge that he wasn't living where he was served, which was his mom's house, where he was served way back in, August of 2019? Was that when it was? It's been a day. And
something like that. It was a while ago.
It was a while ago. And, it had to be like June, or I think the original service was like June or something. I don't know, it's been a long time. But he submitted some evidence to the court that had been clearly doctored. We had done some forensic level analysis to it with my friend Ruhif, who is a computer expert, literally a computer expert. And he had determined that there had been some alterations in the bank statements.
Hang on. You skipped the detail, Steve. You skipped the detail. Individual who I'm currently working with who has designed a program where I can track rockets from out of state also looked at this document, since he is hashtag not a coder. He was able to demonstrate how the documents that Kyle submitted were forged and how you could prove this yourself. Amazing.
Yeah. This is what's called objective evidence. This channel is really big about objective evidence. We all have our subjective opinion. That's just fine. People can do commentary. People can give their opinions. But there is such things as facts that are objective, that are not contingent upon anybody's beliefs, wants, needs, desires, or whatever. It is an objective fact that we had multiple people with computer expertise verify that these bank records had been altered. I did it myself, step by step. I even showed how to do it. Other people independently did the exact same thing on their own. And guess what? When something is objective, they should come to the same conclusion, correct? Which they did. So we had subpoenaed the original bank records from Discover and found out after we got the actual bank records back, yes, they were in fact altered. That was true. And every alteration we had discovered was actually altered. We hit every one of them. We were 100% correct on that. He also submitted a forged Amazon thing saying that he had somehow gotten something shipped to his mom's, his boyfriend's address at the time. He had said he moved in with his boyfriend. That's why he said he was no longer living with his mom, therefore it wasn't proper service. He was living with his boyfriend. So he had altered something from Amazon. That came back from Amazon from our subpoena, that it was altered. And he had said that he had a rental agreement with his ex-boyfriend, Ben, who's a really nice guy. I still talk to him quite frequently. Ben didn't sign anything. Ben did not sign any rental agreement, did not sign any affidavit that Kyle supposedly said Ben had. So we have cases.
Ben was also able to back up everything during his deposition.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we get to the deposition, Kyle's looking at multiple counts of forgery, perjury, and submission of altered evidence to the court. Ghost Recon for $5 says, can't wait for Kyle's lies to catch up with him. Oh, they're already starting to. I mean, because I have said from day one that Kyle lied from day one. Now, Kyle had said from day one that he didn't want to pay me because my medical, blah, 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 all that was made up. We all know it was made up. I have demonstrated beyond not even a preponderance of the evidence. We're talking 100% certainty that was all BS. I have all the documentations for that. And so he has lied throughout this entire thing. And the fact came out that he never did actually move been with his boyfriend. So that whole thing from the very beginning that he was trying to run this narrative that he had moved in with Ben so he wasn't properly served was BS. It was complete bullshit. And that came out in court. Now the judge is pissed, right? The judge is going, what is going on here? It also came out in depositions because they did have a deposition for both Kyle and for Ben saying, okay, one of you is lying. Kyle's saying he's lived with you here, and Ben's saying that he didn't. So a lot of money was spent. Come to find out, Kyle lied under those depositions. Because he lied under those depositions, what did his lawyer do? Reds?
Fucking bails.
She left. She quit. She withdrew, which I said she was going to do 2 months earlier. I said that she was probably going to withdraw. And fun fact, there was a fundraiser, for those of you guys who don't know, there was a fundraiser where UniRock petitioned his subs for $6,000. $6,000 to get Kyle a lawyer to fight this. Tough to find out, he had lied to his lawyer the entire time, lied to those people that gave him money, lied to the court, and UniRock doesn't even care. I mean, every one of those people that gave Kyle money, I'm thinking to myself, how can you not feel stupid?
UniRock, you've officially helped out in a fraud. Go fuck yourself.
And more than that, had he not gotten a lawyer, this would have been resolved. He wouldn't be looking at prison time because we would have already been finished with it. Because he dragged it out and we were able to get more evidence, that him getting a lawyer actually absolutely helped us, which I have said as well. So I thought that was kind of hilarious that, UniRock and them supporting, Kyle backfired so spectacularly. Go unicorn for $5 in New Zealand. Kyle had a shady past. Yes, he has a convicted felon for breaking and entering on a probation. He had probation for a cocaine charge, and then he was busted for breaking in a church. These are established facts. This is not defamatory in any way. These are all public record. And Steve gave him a chance to reform. I did. He was very I will tell you, he was upfront with his conviction, and from what I've discovered on that, he didn't say anything that I don't find to be incorrect. I will always tell you guys the truth. Always have, always will. You guys get nothing but the truth from me. And I've always said that I don't think Kyle lied about that. I will never try to say something that I can't back up, because then what's the point? Because what happens is if you find things out that aren't true, then it kind of throws shade on anything else that is true. And I don't want that, clearly. I want people to know the truth. Kyle chose to throw this away, his only chance. One doesn't get multiple chances to reform in life. Well, he actually got 2 there, believe it or not, going to Unicorn. If you guys remember, Kyle tried to make a comeback, and he used UniRock as a vehicle to try to salvage his reputation. And UniRock said, "Oh, I know Kyle 100% is telling the truth." Steve had this the other, what was it? Somebody did a video. Who was it? I can't remember. Real nice woman. I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But she did a video on the whole. Steve tried to have Kyle killed. Kyle had his house shot up. Steve tried to commit attempted murder. Steve paid people to go send people to try to kill Kyle. And I was like, that never even happened. None of that happened. Matter of fact, not only didn't it happen, the entire thing was so fabricated that when they asked for a police report, there was no police report. Nothing. How could you get shot at your house if you didn't actually even move? And the person who owned the house said that never happened.
But Steve, which house was he talking about?
Yeah, which house was he talking about?
Was he talking about his mom's house, or was he talking about Ben's house, or was he talking about, McRae house number 7?
Yeah, exactly. So none of that actually happened. But they were running that narrative for quite some time. So he did get a second chance. He was actually doing pretty well. A lot of people were buying into his BS. So he almost got a second chance. He was making progress because he was using manipulative type language and techniques, and he was using UniRock, one of the most dishonest YouTubers of all time, in my opinion, to foster that. So let's see here. Deadly Raider says, don't forget, Kyle admitted during his deposition he was lying to people. Yes, a matter of fact, in his deposition, he admitted that he lied to Katie Joy Paulson. He straight up admitted that when there was a thing that was in the court records, a screenshot, and Kyle said he lied on it. And I'm thinking to myself, the whole thing for the deposition was trying to figure out who was telling the truth, Kyle or his ex-boyfriend. And he admits to my lawyer that he lied before. Oh, that doesn't look that good.
Yeah,
the
purpose of the deposition was to find out who is more credible. And right there, Kyle was admitting, oh, I ain't credible at all.
They also keep in mind that they went out of their way to try and slander and bully Ben.
Oh, and they still are. And I asked Ben this, and he hasn't had a
of
problem with
course.
this. Kyle's still harassing him. Kyle's still sending him messages. Ben
Oh
is
my
Ben is
God.
Ben was supposed to get an RO last week. I'm going to follow up on him this week. But yeah, Ben is scared to death. Ben is scared to death. This is stalkish like behavior. He obviously he wants absolutely nothing to do with Kyle.
That's not stalkish like. That's not even like that is.
It's stalkish. Yeah, no, you're right. You know, I shouldn't
It's
play it down.
stalking. It's stalking and harassing. There's no ish in there. There's no about. It is.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Goes to Recon
This is the
$5.
guy who was so desperate that he was so desperate to contact poor Ben that he sent him money through a Cash App. Like, how pathetic.
That's
do
a
you
fact,
need to
actually.
be?
People may not know it, but yeah, when Ben was blocking him on all social media, he was sending him $1 at a time so he would get the messages on a Cash App program. It'd be like me. Let's say like Cheshire wanted nothing to do with me and blocked me on all social media, and I'm PayPaling her $1 at a time so she can read the messages attached to it. That's creepy. That's a straight up creepy. But he was doing that on was it a I don't know what Cash App program it was, but it was some program like that. Goes to Recon says $5. What?
Wasn't it like Zelle or something?
I don't know if it was Zelle. It could have been. I don't know, but it was some program where it was $1 a thing. So, but Ghost of Recon says
whatever. Anyway, I'm more concerned about Ben's safety, honestly.
Oh, I've already I've got it taken care of. I one of our mutual friends that you guys remember, she's on it. I told her, look, you make sure this happens. You need to watch out for Ben. Because Ben is a really nice guy. I'm telling you straight up. He is a legit what you see, what you get. And I think deep down he doesn't really want to have to go this route, but I think he knows he needs to. Does that make sense?
Well, he's kind of been boxed into a corner. Like, where else are you supposed to do? Let your name be used in fraudulent court documents if you find out?
Right, and he had no idea. Matter of fact, this was another false narrative. I'll get to the super chat. Union Rock had said that I have all along been planning with Ben. It came out in court because all my communications with Ben were turned over to the court as I wanted them to be. As a matter of fact, I will tell you, I turned them over. I didn't have to. I was not ordered to. I voluntarily give up all my communications. I did because I wanted it out there. There's nothing to be hidden. All this thing where Union Rock was saying, oh, well, him and Ben and Steve are conspiring and he's known Ben for all this time and blah, blah. No, the first time Ben reached out to me is the first time I ever had communication with him. What was it? Whatever the date was, but I've said it numerous times, but we never had contact up before then, ever. He tried to several months before, but I didn't even know. He sent me 2 tweets, I think it was. One got the @ wrong, and the other one I just never saw because he told me that Kyle had him delete it, right? So there was never any kind of communication between us prior to that. He was never paid for anything. He was never offered anything. He just said, hey, look, what's going on here? Because I'm hearing my name in this court case kind of thing. And I said, well, Kyle says that he's lived with you and he has a rental agreement with you. And he was like, what? No, I didn't. There's no rental agreement. What rental agreement? And I showed him and he said, that's not my signature. I contacted my lawyer right away and you know, the rest is history on that. But yeah, he was like, what the hell? No, that ain't mine. But Goes to Recon says for $5, I'm just happy that the truth wins in this case. The court system can be effed up sometimes, but at least we're going to see justice. And I agree with you. I in the long run, yes. It has just been so tedious because of the COFEFE 19. It has been ridiculously slow because they were supposed to have hearings on this long ago, but they couldn't. The judge had told his lawyer that he wanted Kyle to appear in court because, quote, tell your client he probably won't be going home that night. Okay? And that was before the criminal stuff. That was for the civil part of it. We haven't even gotten to that part yet. We're going to get there. But they couldn't have in-person hearings because of that. And they're still having problems with that. So we're in limbo for a while, and that's why it's taking so long. All right, so let me scroll down here. Moderate Extremist was a mod actually for Union Rock, and he had something before I was going to read Moderate Extremist. He says something like, and then played Uni Dumb saying, no, I wanted to read something you said before because it was really good. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Chat's going by way too fast. My apologies. Goes Because, oh, here it is. He goes, Modernist Extremist says, and by the way, this was a sub for, excuse me, a mod for Unirock. And by the way, I am sorry, anybody who's a mod for Unirock nowadays, I just can't imagine that person being a functional, ethical human in society. I just can't imagine it. It's just, how could anybody be a mod for that person?
It's beyond Steve's capabilities.
I have my mental limitations. That, to me, blows my freaking mind. So the people that were modding for him and left, I have the utmost respect for. Hey, look, I used to watch his stuff too, and then I caught, me and Manya caught on very quickly that he was lying to people, and we said to him, hey, look, we're not into this. You're giving people misinformation, and he didn't care. He literally told me and Manya, whatever. He's like, people will watch, and then if they call me out, kind of thing, I'll fix it afterwards. I'm like, no, homie, don't play that game. And I said, you're done. I'm not going to have anything to do with you. And he went on a year-long campaign against me to try to smear me.
Well, in reality, he can go fuck himself, and in reality, we need to get to this order.
Okay,
so
I want to read this. I want to read this then I'll get to that. I promise.
Yeah, because you know what doesn't matter? What most of this narrative slanders bullshit is saying when the court is making it very
I agree.
clear.
But Extremist says, I don't know how many arguments I got into with Morons trying to tell me that service was improper. You won that case. Second, the default was rendered. In my opinion, Kyle is now in a heap of trouble like jail. And you're exactly right. Has anybody said or seen anywhere I said that I said at any time service was improper? No. I have said from day one, even if Kyle moved in with Ben, the service would have been good. The judge said the same thing. Him moving in with Ben was irrelevant. So even if they've had found that he had lived with Ben, it still would have been proper service. And Reds was willing to bet money in it. I was willing to bet money on it. And I was betting my own money. I wasn't betting somebody else's money. I was bet thousands of dollars.
There were actually people who were willing to bet their money until, they were...
Ruhif was going to bet $1 million of his own money. Actually, he probably would have bet his entire fortune, but he would have bet $1 million, absolutely, in a heartbeat.
One of Unirock's dick suckers decided to bet against me. He's like, I'll bet you $1,000. I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, I lost.
Yeah, he welched on that.
I gotta make up some. I gotta make up some bullshit to try and get out of it. He goes, okay, well, you have to give me your real name. You have to give me your ID number. I'll tell you what, motherfucker, give me your actual address, and I'll pick it up from your fucking doorstep. You piece of shit.
Yeah, he welched on that. Oh, that's why I'm saying. Well, that's why when Ruhif said, look, I'll bet $1 million. I'll bet $10 million. He would have to go through escrow, right? But we know we know he has that kind of money. So yeah, he was like, this is a safe bet. We knew that service was proper. It was just a given. But
service was always proper. Service is going to forever be proper, and any narrative that says the opposite of what we're telling you right now is a bullshit narrative.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get to this after this super chat. Godless Scummer, $5, and I hope you're doing well, Godless Scummer. I know that you do stuff on your channel now, and good for you, man. I'm guessing someone should go and buy a Whopper while still can. No BK in prison. Absolutely. Enjoy those Whoppers.
Damn straight. No BK in prison.
One more. Golden Unicorn, $5. Kyle had a shady path. Oh, no, I already read that one. Okay.
You're caught up.
I'm caught up. All right. All right. So here we go. This is in North Carolina Superior Court Division. It's from the Honorable Judge Gale, who I got to admit has been a very good judge. And I can understand why he's doing this. I did talk to my lawyer today, obviously. I was a little bit upset because of the fact it's going so slow, but we'll get over that. All right. The court has entered a partial judgment by default on January 23rd, 2020, ECF number 17. Defendant Kyle Curtis, as Curtis, filed his motion to set aside default judgment on February 6, 2020, ECF number 19. I will have the link in the video description if it's not there already to the court case. I think somebody could put it in the live chat here too if you want to go follow along. And on July 28th, 2020, filed his amended motion to set aside entry of default and partial default judgment, ECF number 30. After hearing oral arguments and considering all matters of record, the court denied the request to set aside default judgment. That default remains in full force and effect. And before we go any further, I want to ping on that a little bit, but we got another super chat. Kerry Bronson for $20 says, serious question. Oh, I like the serious questions. I like the not serious ones too, but if it turned out that Kyle had been replaced by a reptilian...
I haven't read it yet.
It doesn't sound really serious so far. If it turned out that Kyle had been replaced by reptilian a few years back, and the real Kyle was chained in the mothership, could you find it in your heart to work with the real one again once he escapes? Yes. Because that wouldn't have actually been him, right? right? And so I'm not going to hold somebody morally accountable if that's not really them, because I like morality, you know.
If they didn't do it, then why would we hold it against them?
Right. I'm not going to fault people for things that they don't do. That's not me, man. That's the same thing when people say, "Hey, look, I don't want you to be around this person," or blah blah blah, and it's like, well, why?
Listen,
you know,
guys, you're forgetting something completely important in this scenario. Of course, you can't work with him again. He was too weak and got caught by the lizard people.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want anybody that weak working with us.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, he was too weak. I don't like losers who get captured by reptilian people. Michael,
yep, of course. And now, on February 12th,
well, hang on, guys. Super chat. I apologize. Michael, the Canadian atheist, who has a really amazing podcast. Go check him out. When's the party? Who knows, man? We've already done our celebratory things. We'll get more when there's actually him in jail, right? But yeah, this isn't a party. This is us relating facts right now. All right, go ahead. Well, do you want to talk about this whole setting aside thing? Because denied the request to set aside the default judgment. Now, how many people, Reds, were out there on various videos like Drunken Peasants and commentary videos going, "Oh, Steve messed up on service. You know, Steve, purposely tried to serve Kyle in the wrong place." How many that were saying that? It wasn't a lot, but I mean, not one of them apologized.
I think that there were a lot more people that saying that kind of thing in their own echo chambers and anonymously on social media where they had nothing to lose.
Yeah,
like there's no accountability.
Right.
Let me tell you something. They're never going to apologize to you. They're never going to admit that they were wrong. Never. You're never going to get a single fucking apology, and I'm never going to see my fucking money. Yeah. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, anyway. I'm cool with that. Godless Comer $5. Kyle replaced by Reptilian. I think we have a new Unirock narrative. He will float something like that. He doesn't care. Jazilla £5 just to annoy Jason. That's actually funny. I like that one. I pocket $1 $5. If in 2018 Kyle said, quote, "You're right, I spent the money on my hair. Would you take $500 a month for 2 years?" Probably. Well, I mean, what do you mean, like for only 2 years? He's going to be owing me like $100,000.
No, I wouldn't trust that at all.
Because he wouldn't have owed you.
Oh, in 2018. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, it's 2018. Yeah. You're right. 30,000. Yeah.
Because
of course, man. Sure.
What's to stop him from just dipping again and ripping apart yet another contract?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume there had to be some kind of like things in place, but sure, I'd take 5.
Basically, I wouldn't trust them. Anyway, can I read this shit now?
Yes, you can read this shit now. Go for it.
Perfect. Stop moving.
I have to just do
the frame rate is weird here. All right. On February 12th, 2020, plaintiff Stephen McRae filed a motion requesting the court issue an order directing Curtis to appear and show cause why he should not be held in contempt for failing to abide by the court's judgment. And so that would be ECF number 23.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the court's judgment was listed, ECF number 23. The court issued its order on motion for order to show cause on April 13th, 2020. That was ECF number 26, which provided that emergency orders entered by the Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court in response to the COVID pandemic, then in force, provided that Curtis could not be required at that time to respond to McRae's motion and could not be compelled to appear in person to scroll down. Show cause why he should not be held in contempt. Those administrative orders have expired. The court is not currently advised whether Curtis has now complied with the default judgment. He fucking hasn't. In whole or part, and whether it is necessary to continue further, whether Curtis should be required to demonstrate why he should not be held in contempt for his failure to comply. The court orders as follows. 1, McRae shall...
Hang on, before we get into the orders. I did put the link to the court records in the video description and in the live chat. Super chat, Gary for £5. I hope you're watching, Jason. I don't want Jason watching my stuff. I haven't had anything to do with him for a year and a half now. He is bottom of the barrel as you can get. I don't want his views. I don't want his subs. I don't do any of these things for subs and views. I do it because they're the right things to do, and I believe very strongly in my videos. I have 1,000 plus, 1,500 videos I've done. I don't do them because I expect to be some kind of huge YouTuber. I do them because I enjoy them, and I don't want his audience at all. Like literally, I don't want him around. So I hope he's not watching. But all right, so these are the actual orders. This is what the judge has actually ordered. It should be noted, though, because he had said that the thing's full effect. He had told Kyle that before, that my order is in full effect, and you need to comply by it. And then, obviously, this COFEFE 19 hit. And by the way, another narrative was that I had supposedly accused Kyle of creating the COFEFE 19 virus to get out of the court case. I'm not even making this up.
That was Unirock.
That was Unirock.
Yes. He was trying to make the claim that you were spraying this out because of how it was worded, or you were accusing Kyle of spraying this because of how it was worded in the legal documents when he just didn't know how to read.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. Somebody who's actually going to go to his followers and say, yeah, because they'll believe anything, like literally believe anything. And he said, yeah, Steve's trying to go around telling people that Kyle, started the whole COFEFE 19 thing to get out of the court case, according to what he said for the court records. That was just absurd beyond measure. Corrupt Syntax for $5 says, does the law know where Kyle is, or does he actually try to flee within or outside the country? We'll get back to that. Can I table that with your Corrupt? Do you mind?
Yeah, put a
pin in that because it asked about that going further here, and we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. This is what the court has ordered now. Number 1. Go ahead.
All right. McRae shall, within 10 days of this order, A, file a status report as to the extent to which Curtis has complied or failed to comply with the default judgment. B, if appropriate, amend his motion to show cause in light of subsequent events.
Okay, and I could kind of understand this only because, one, there's been so long since our original motion, right? However, because this judge knows that Kyle has lied, he even said in his last filing, there has been strong evidence, quote, strong evidence, I believe the phrase he used, of Kyle submitting false information to the court, right? That he was going to rule on another time, looked like. I don't think that
evidence that apparently Unirock and his followers can't fucking understand.
So I think the judge recognizes in his own mind that nothing has been changed in here, because we had talked to the court clerk, and the clerk, we said to the clerk, hey, what does the judge want here? What do we need to do? Do we need to refile? Are we going to get a motion on it? And they want a status report. Okay, I get it. I get it, right? I hate it, but I get it. Does that, because, well, the legal system sucks, but he wants everything up to date.
Yeah, the judge needs to make sure that everything is still standing where it was, and that's because the amount of time that's passed, and because the judge basically threatened Kyle, saying the longer this goes, the worse it's going to be for you.
That's exactly what he said.
There is a possibility there is a possibility that, unbeknownst to the judge, Kyle decided to heed that warning / threat.
And then you have number 2. The court will then determine whether to order that Curtis appear to show cause why he should not be held in civil contempt, criminal contempt, or both.
Yeah, now this is the big one here. Now, I really want people to look how this is worded very carefully. The court will then determine whether to order that Curtis appear to show cause why he should not be held in civil contempt, criminal contempt, or both, right? This is actually worded in the way that, well, why should I not hold him against it, right? It's not asking for evidence why that he should hold him in contempt, right? He's not saying, okay, you need to present evidence why I should hold him in contempt. It is now, what evidence do you have that I shouldn't hold him in contempt? Has he done anything? Has he turned anything over? This judge, I've noticed, wants everything crossed, his T's crossed, his I's dotted. He's meticulous about that. He wants bulletproof. And I can tell you right now, this is straight up, he is gunning for Kyle. He's
Well,
not.
it's
He's
a
straight up gunning for
matter
him.
of the point is now on Kyle to show why he's not, right? So Steve is saying, "Hey, listen, I haven't gotten the stuff," and the judge is saying, "Okay, why are you not in contempt for not doing this
Yeah,
thing?"
and he wants
Give me
everything.
one reason.
He wants a
And
whole
the
new
thing
thing.
is,
Yes.
is having everything cross-checked the way he is doing it, like with the depositions, like with the paperwork, like with the address stuff and whatever, it's very clear that there's not going to be any kind of out.
Yeah.
And I think the judges probably noticed Kyle has been looking for ways out.
Correct.
Mhm.
Number
The
Now, I will say that
the fact is that there is this giant mountain of evidence that shows why Kyle was engaged in some bullshit, and so the judge is basically going to be like, "Hey, you see that giant mountain of evidence over there that shows that you've been engaged in some bullshit? Why should I not listen to this giant mountain of evidence that shows that you've been engaged in some bullshit?"
Yeah. Joey had asked, since Kyle's going to jail, do you think he may nuke the NSS channel so he has nothing to lose? Oh, he would lose more. That there is criminal things for that'll be added on that we've already discussed with the court. My lawyer is well aware of that. That there's going to be much more going on because these are ongoing. This is evidence, right? Is evidence in a court case. So to do anything to it at this point, we will. I mean, any change whatsoever. We will be here. We will put this out in the contempt hearing. That will be what's called criminal spoilage at that point, not just civil spoilage, but we believe it's going to be criminal spoilage. So, yeah, it's just digging your hole one after another. And plus, we can actually go to YouTube. We have talked about it that YouTube. We just go to YouTube and say, look, we're in the court case. This is an evidence stuff, and we just get it right back on. And yet the charge would still be held because the way this works is this: the contempt. The civil contempt isn't something that is basically you've done something wrong, you're going to be punished. It is you're in contempt of the court. You're in progress of doing something wrong. The only way to get out of it is not to do things wrong any longer, right? So there has to be what's called a remedy. And by the way, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, but I know my shit on this a little bit. But yeah, don't take it as legal advice. Go ask a real lawyer. Whatever. Go watch Emily Baker. She's good at this stuff. Or an OPT lawyer. But civil contempt is basically you have to have a remedy to get out of it. So as long as Kyle said, okay, Judge, I'm turning all these things over, which, by the way, I don't think he has a clue all the things he needs to turn over. But let's say that he did. He'd say he was aware of all the things he had to do. He could not be held for civil contempt. The day he went to jail over it, if he turned everything over a minute later, he would be, again, processed out, right? So there has to be some kind of remedy to get out of civil contempt. Criminal contempt is a little bit different, though. In North Carolina, the way I understand it, it's only up to 30 days, but that means that the judge has witnessed something that he, in his mind, reaches the statute of criminality that has been promulgated against the court. Lying under a deposition in front of two court officers
Something like perjury
would
maybe?
be the case, yes. A submission of altered evidence would be something like that. Now, what I do not know, because this is something that's uncharted waters for me, I haven't been able to find any legal stuff on it. Maybe you guys could help me on it. I know a lot of you guys are good at this stuff, but if there is a criminal contempt charge attached to the civil contempt, can they still file with the DA? Because I know this judge was going to turn over things to the DA. My lawyer told me this. This is one of the reasons why he wanted the depositions and he wanted the criminal charges with the DA. Now, the DA, of course, like any other DA, can take a case or okay. So yeah, we connected. So yes, Mr. President, we can read you. But if it goes to a 30-day criminal contempt, which is, by the way, better than nothing, that means it cannot be turned over to the DA? I do not know this. So if you guys have any legal information about how that would work, please let me know. Nobody seems to really know the answer to that, unless you're, I guess, a criminal defense attorney or prosecuting attorney. So, I mean, I'm sure Emily would know, but I don't really have a means to ask her, I guess.
So for number three?
Number three, yes. Oh, and by the way, or both. So what he's asking for my lawyer to do is say, hey, look, what's your reason here? Should I hold him in criminal contempt, civil contempt, or both? And we're going for both, obviously. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So for number three, it says, this order shall be posted on the court's electronic docket. That is the public access link that we've been sharing in the live chat. And shall be mailed by certified mail, return receipt requested to Curtis at the last address identified in his filings with this court, and shall be emailed to Curtis at the email address from which he has corresponded with the court.
That'd be his mom's address. Now, whether he's living there or not, we cannot be sure of, obviously, right? But it is the last known address, which, by the way, I've said before, that's how they do these things. It goes by last known address. I could tell you that we do have people investigating his whereabouts. If he does move out of state, we will know about it. We will have people after him. You have to remember, and I'm just going to throw it out there, the person that's doing this lawsuit for me, this one that's paying for the legal bills, has deep pockets. To get a bounty hunter on Kyle for extradition because he has skipped, because there's a case pending, the judge would file for it and then say, okay, there's a arrest out for you if he doesn't show for the hearing. Yes, you could be extradited back for that. And yes, we have information. We would find out where he is. So yeah, he's not going to, unless he moves to Mexico. Good luck with that. But we're trying to make sure that he goes to the court hearing. But anyways, so.
Yep. So number 4, either McRae, Curtis, or counsel, that is the lawyers, shall advise the court of any known change from the above in the address at which Curtis can be expected to receive communications from the court.
Yeah, and that's more to Kyle, right? I mean, since we don't have
that is straight up, because it's like, listen, this is what you gave us, this is where you're sending it to, so you can't say, oh, I didn't get it.
Well, and here's the thing: when you're involved in a court lawsuit like this, it is your duty to inform the court if you move. Your duty. You have to. You literally are kind of required to tell them, hey, look, I need to get the filings here at this address, which he has never done. He hasn't changed anything. So if he has not changed that with the court address, because the court has actually told him before, if I'm not mistaken, you need to tell us your current information, that's another thing he might get pinged on. And there we go. So ordered today.
It is so ordered the 2nd day of February 2021. Judge James L. Gale, Senior Business Court Judge.
So, I mean, what do you guys think, Reds? I mean, obviously this is good. It is more time consuming, because what happens is when we have to file a new motion for an order to show cause, it triggers a response time.
My honest opinion.
Yeah, I know your honest opinion. It sucks because it's already been freaking a ridiculous amount of time, right?
Yeah, well, no, my honest opinion is this, is that in all honesty, I am just sick of fucking talking about this case. I'm sick of the people talking about this case. I'm sick of everything that is to do with this case. Basically, we have jumped through multiple flaming hoops, and we've done everything right. We followed the rules. We've crossed our T's, dotted our I's. We've done everything right, and there just keeps being more delays. Now I need this. Now I need that. Now I need this. Now I need that. Meanwhile, Kyle is out there fucking around, damaging the channel, and making fraudulent copyright claims on people. He's just fucking around while we're busy doing everything that's right. For once, I would just like a piece of paper to say, Kyle, you are fucked. I expect you in the court on this day at this time to explain to me why I shouldn't throw your ass in jail. Because quite honestly, I am sick of waiting. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of all this shit. This shit has gone on for so long that a person who was involved in it now is no longer here to see the conclusion of it. That's how long this fucking thing has gone on for. And it fucking sucks. I'm sick of all of these shitheads on Twitter making this case a fucking meme, when in reality, this is some serious fucking stuff. A guy is in the process of ruining his life, and all we have is these jackasses going out of their way to encourage him to continue ruining his life. Fucking stop.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the copyright thing.
And if any of you are in contact with this jackass, tell him to take it seriously. Enough is enough.
I'm glad you mentioned the copyright thing. Skydove had asked, I missed the beginning of the stream, does Kyle now have a new lawyer? No. Matter of fact, he can't get one, I don't think, now. The judge had actually given him time to get a new lawyer. He expired that time. He is pro se now. So I don't expect any kind of response from him. If it is, it's going to be pretty sad. But I mean, what is he going to respond? I mean, as somebody had noted here, Joey D said the judge.
He's gonna say that he did comply, and then reference all of the the passwords that he gave to Nate Brody before he gave them
Yeah,
to
right.
you.
And then put out on public, which, by the way, none of those actually worked. There was none of them actually were legit. Go figure. The judge signaled all of this in April of 20. He said if not for the beer virus and the order from North Carolina Supreme Court, he would have made Kyle to appear in court already. Yes, he did. Yeah, I mean, the judge, I'm sure, is as frustrated as well. Judges wanted this stuff off the docket, and especially when there's fraud on the court, judges tend to not like that. This judge especially is not happy that Kyle did all this stuff. He wants there to be justice, I'm sure. But he also wants Kyle to come in person. And until there's a in-person hearings, there's a problem with that. And we're going to try to tell the judge, I hope, we'll take a virtual hearing at this point. But it's not the best, but we'll take it. But I'm pretty damn sure that that's not going to fly for the judge very well, because the judge has told us he wants Kyle in person. He wants Kyle in person. So, but I'm glad you mentioned the copyright things. For those people that know, Kyle tried to hit me with 4 false DMCAs, which could be 4 additional counts of perjury. We have not addressed that yet. The court is aware of it. We have still trying to figure out our best course of action on that, but that has not gone by the side. Those are still possible pending perjury charges. But that would probably want to come to resolution until after the civil contempt, and that would be brought up on the criminal contempt, I think.
Yeah, there's something that that your lawyer had brought up a while ago on one of the dockets, and he had said that you, as the plaintiff, have rights to not continuously be screwed over during the legal process. But that's what's been happening.
Mhm.
It's not that, oh yeah, there's shitheads on Twitter. It's not just that that are actively trying to utilize this case to smear you, as well as do damage to your income and to the Non-Sequitur Show as a brand. But you've also got Kyle, who's still benefiting because he's still getting whatever money is still going into the Non-Sequitur Show, because the show still exists.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Matter of fact, I told
there.
my lawyer almost all that today. I said the same thing.
Yeah, that's
I brought that up. I re-brought that up.
That's a year and a half worth of income.
Tektron has a correction for me, and Tektron, you're all right on this. He said Kyle could still get a lawyer. The thing with the judge giving him time was that it was time for him to secure counsel before the court would continue with him pro se. You're right. Yeah. So I mean, I guess he could get a counsel, but here's the thing: what counsel would want? Yeah. As soon as the counsel finds out that his other lawyer quit and that he lied, and what he needs to hire is a defense attorney. That's what he needs to talk to, if anything. So. I do have a PayPal here for $5.78. This says, this is from, I'd say Robert. What are the chances Kyle will comply with the order? High, medium, low, or Kyle level, aka no chance? It could help him just a bit. 0. Kyle never going to comply with this order. I know Kyle better than anybody else on this planet, I think, after all this. Kyle will do everything as possible to screw himself over. He has made it very clear to me, and he has told me that he will basically, cut off his nose to spite his face kind of thing. He's obstinate. And so, yeah, his narcissistic personality would not allow him to comply. I think it'd be fundamentally against his nature to comply. He'll go down fighting, and he'll take that rabbit hole down all the way. That's how he ended up in prison the first time. So I think there's pretty much almost a 0 chance.
I'm sure he'll have fun trying to fight the perjury charges and criminal charges that he'll get from prison.
Yeah.
What are the odds, Steve, that the court gives an order for YouTube to do something?
We could actually. I'll tell you right now, we probably could have already had that.
What the fuck?
There's reasons why I decided not to.
I'll kill you.
I'll talk to you that later.
I'm going to fly to California.
Well, here's the thing: we didn't expect it to go this long.
My life over Kofefe to get on a tube of sick and fly my ass all the way to California just so I can kill you.
It wasn't okay. First of all, let me clarify this. We could have only done it after. Hang on, we could have only done it after the motion to set aside the default judgment was ruled on. So it only been 2 months. But anyways,
then the court weren't moving anyway. So even if you had, it still wouldn't have come through at this point either way.
But we always have that on the table. Yes, we can go to YouTube directly and have that transferred over. But
you owe me food for forgiveness for your indiscretions.
Food's good. I will share some poutine with you. I want to try it.
Send me a poutine.
Yes, I like poutine.
Send me some Burger King.
But
Because I'm
yeah,
not in prison.
anything he does to the channel, we will bring to the judge's attention for the criminal aspect. Yes, those for spoliation, absolutely. But I think the bigger things is I'm not even worried about that. Like I said, I'm not as concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is I want to see him get on the forgery, the perjury, and the submission of altered evidence, because those are a class, I believe, I and F felonies in North Carolina, and each of those are an individual charge. And so I want to see that go to the DA. So, but I'll tell you now, I don't see any way he can't avoid some kind of jail. I mean, right now I have a $100 bet with Peter Riley from Forbes because I said that Kyle would end up in at least jail or prison or sometime before December 31st, 2022. So I got about a year. He's like, the courts are bogged up. They're not going to care. I'm like, he'll get a contempt. I think he will. It's a $100 bet. Nothing extravagant, but to me, I think it's easy money. But I don't see how he can get out.
What's the time frame we're looking at? So you've got 10 days to do this, and that's going to take you, what, maybe 3 days?
But he's going to. My lawyer said he's working on it in the next couple of days.
Okay, so let's say before the end of this week that gets filed.
Yeah.
Then are we looking at like another 2 weeks for Kyle to be able to respond, or does Kyle only have since this order to respond?
Well, the last time he gave Kyle 5 days, if you remember, but I think because this is a new motion, I think in the North Carolina's court, their standing thing for court, I believe it's either 10 or 14 days they have to respond. It's either 10, 14, or 30.
So does Kyle get to respond to this order, or only you respond
No.
to this order?
This is an order, not a motion, right? He gets to respond to the new motion because we have to put in a new order to show cause motion. We want the judge to evaluate why he should be held in contempt, even though the judge has worded as, well, tell me why he shouldn't be. Has he done anything to alleviate this? Has he complied in any way?
Right.
And I told my judge, word it as harshly as possible. I'll be telling straight up. There's nothing wrong with that. We want both criminal. Yeah, I mean, because we want criminal and civil. I made that very clear from day one. I'm not. This is not a big secret.
So that means there's going to be hopefully by the end of this week your paperwork will be in, which means that will give 10 to 14 days for Kyle to respond from the day that paperwork goes in, and then X amount of time before the court responds again.
Correct. Yeah. So we're still looking at a couple months, probably 2 months down the line. Unfortunately, I know it's absurd, but
this is why I said what I said. I'm kind of sick of it. And like I said, if you guys are still, if anybody, I should say, is still treating this as a joke or a game or whatever, at this point, just lose my fucking number. I don't want to talk.
I mean, I think the worst thing out of it all, and I hate to bring this up, but I really have to. The worst thing of it all, and I did tell my lawyer this, and he was very, very consoling. Out of all this, I'm seriously, the thing I hate the most is that Bull is no longer with us to see the end result. I don't think I can ever get past that. I think of all people, he deserves to see this come to fruition, and he won't be able to because Kyle had dragged it out so long.
And keep in mind that
I can't forgive
Kyle
that.
to this day could still do any of these things. These isn't like, Kyle needs to wait for the court to tell him this, or Kyle needs to wait for someone to do this. Kyle's has had the power to do this the entire time. He's just been holding it hostage.
Correct.
For the entire
Well, that's what I'm saying. When somebody said, well, he complied. No,
is.
it's all because he wants to feel like he's in control. That he is. This is the last bastillion of his power, right? Because he is a straight up narcissist, in my opinion, and he wants that control. Well, he doesn't have that control in the court now because the court has taken that away from him and saying, look, you're going to go to jail. You have criminal charges. We're going to have a criminal contempt hearing. This is going to happen. I have a feeling. This is why it's put in here. This is very clear on number 2. Should we have a criminal, civil, or both? Yes, we're going to ask for both. Absolutely. He can't get out of that criminal. He can get out of the civil. All he has to do is turn everything over. And would that help him in the criminal? Probably. I'm not going to. I've given Kyle good advice. I always have. Everything I've told him is, if he would listen to me, he would have saved his ass. But he's so arrogant, he won't. But if he complied with everything, would it alleviate some of the things for the criminal? Yeah, absolutely it would. But is he going to do that? No, absolutely not. He's not going to do that. So me saying that it's just more icing on the cake when I go out. See, I even told him. I told him the truth. I've been telling him the truth from day one.
I'm just like I said, I'm sick of this fucking merry-go-round that never seems to end.
Court sucks, dude.
It sucks because words cannot describe how much I'm sick of this shit. Like, I just want it to fucking end.
Yep.
I know he's fucked. I know we already won. I know it's downhill from here, but my God, if downhill is the length between Earth and Pluto, I'm going to be pissed off on the journey.
And
it's not even that
seems
far.
like. It seems
it's
like
just
it's so
snail's
it's
pace.
been dragged out so long, and there's no reason for it to get dragged out this long.
Yeah, well, again, a vast majority, it obviously was because of Covfefe. Vesta Frija says, I think part of the reason why the judge wants to have Kyle appear in person is so that he can announce to the bailiff to place him under arrest. Yes, that's actually a given. That's what he said, basically in no uncertain terms. He certainly implied that. He said to Kyle's lawyer, tell your client to prepare, basically, that he won't not be going home that night. If you're not going home that night, that, to me, has severe implications that he's going to be going to jail that night. I've asked lawyers, is that judicial speak for you're going to be under arrest? And they're like, yeah, that's what it means. And so, yeah, that was just for the civil, right? So if the judge has already said he's willing to use up to incarceration for the civil and told Kyle that he wants to see him in person so he will not be going home that night, what do you think is going to happen for the criminal aspect, right? I mean, I don't see any way Kyle can get out of jail. This is why he's going to hire an attorney. He doesn't need to hire an attorney for this case. He needs to hire a defense attorney. But by the way, I would be thrilled, and I'd go for it, Unirock. Have a fundraiser with all your dishonest other stuff. Have another dishonest fundraiser, and get Kyle a defense lawyer. I'd like to see that. Go ahead. See here. Yeah, it's been going on 2 years. But let me throw this out there because unfortunately, it's just one of those things. I want you guys to know, Reds especially, and Chesh, if something would ever happen to me. You guys know all my information. I'm an open book to you guys. You know everything about how to get my family and everything else. Make sure that this continues. Make sure that my daughter is the recipient of all this. I want that. That's my only wish. All right. So
what you're telling me is fuck Kyle from beyond the grave. Got it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'll be looking down or up or whatever, sideways, whatever. But yeah, exactly. That'd be my wish.
Well, you can consider that shit done.
Yep.
After I hate to go into this, but after Boole passed away, we all, not just me, everyone got right to work to make sure that his finances were taken care of, that most especially that his dog Dexter was taken care of. And we made sure that everything was taken care of.
Yeah.
I even had my friend go to his place, pick up his computer, and smash it with a hammer.
I was gonna say, if you have to fly down to delete my search history, you'll do that because right.
We'll chuck it into the.
No,
ocean.
you can have dude. I will don't look. If my daughter doesn't want this, you can have this computer. It's nothing. It's actually pristine. Fans are kind of going out. But Bull helped me buy this computer. Actually,
I'm calling dibs.
I didn't buy it, but somebody, Landon and Bull had got this computer for me. And,
yeah, we did all this for Bull, and it was a complete success. So thank you to everyone who actually helped out with that. We even had a recorded message from Bull's mother, who made a message thanking the community for their help and support. We also got a text message from Bull's sister, who also thanked the community for their help, and also for getting Dexter to her. Because after Dexter was temporarily adopted by Astronomy Live, we had vegan atheists drive down to Florida to pick up Dexter from Astronomy Live and drive Dexter all the way to Bull's sister. And the doggo is there right now, being happy, healthy, getting taken care of. He now has a loving home.
We love doggies. If you don't like dogs, don't come around.
We were able to do a lot because of this community. We were able to accomplish and take care of a lot of things. It wasn't easy. It was an emotional fucking roller coaster. Believe me when I say that. But I do want to take this moment real quick just to thank everyone for helping out with that. Vegan Atheist was a fucking champ.
She's amazing.
So was Astronomy Live. Sean Hufford for his help in running part of the fundraiser through his PayPal, and Ilya Moon for running the actual GoFundMe page that was set up afterwards. Your guys' help, especially the people who couldn't donate, but at the very least spread the word. You guys made all this possible, and this is what this community is all about. Earlier in this hangout, I kind of lost my cool. So I want to go ahead and apologize because Bull would not want that. So I am going to say this. I am for this case being fucking over. I am for getting to the conclusion as swiftly as possible. I don't want this to be dragged on any more than it has to. This isn't a joke and should not be treated as such. And for the fundraiser that we had, again, thank you so much to all of you for helping out. But when it comes to the Non-Sequitur Show and the updates that are going on, if you're treating it like a joke, I don't want to have anything to do with you. And
Absolutely.
if you're one of these people that are springboarding off of Bull's passing, you get a special go fuck yourself from me.
Yeah, I concur. And can I say this, and not to put a negative on it, but it needs to be said. For the person out there, Robert Beatty, who had actually implied that Dexter wasn't even a service dog, you can fucking go to hell.
I'm gonna
I cannot.
tag one onto that one too.
That bothered me a lot, actually.
For all of the people that said that Kyle would pay Steve and who haven't spoken out about this since, except to tell us all to go fuck ourselves, fuck you.
I will tell you, it's been hard losing Bull. You guys know, but most people don't realize how close Bull was to us. I mean, he was my confidant. I mean, I loved him like a brother. I mean, he just was. He knew everything. He's been with me for 5 years. I mean, it was losing family. It was just. I probably didn't handle it very well, to be honest with you. I'm still grieving, to be honest with you. But it's
there's been a lot of shit on our minds.
Yes, it sucks.
Let's not confuse things. There's been a lot of shit on our minds, and all of us have gone through a lot of shit over the last month and a half.
Yeah, and people using Bull as a weapon. The amount of evil that takes to do that is beyond, again, my comprehension. That is something I consider to be absolutely pure evil, real evil.
That is why I'm putting this all in a thing. Beatty or Batty or however, fucking dishonest lawyers, fucking Mr. Atheist and his bullshit, GE and his dumbass wife, all of you, go actually fuck yourselves.
Payson says, I never believed Steve was evil. Thank you. Landon isn't hanging around with criminals. Doxa, aka Public Opinion, is a bit dodgy. Okay, Kyle's jaw was really tight, that one. Yeah, Landon Curtino, another wonderful human being, one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. He's a very brilliant dude. A guy had 8 world mathematical records by the time he was like 18. Very renowned computer scientist, very well known in computer science. I try to collect people that I think are honest, and I try to call people that I think there aren't. Now, have I made mistakes about who I can trust? Yes, who I think everybody has. But I do recognize things over a period of time. I do figure it out. So in the long run, my A game is still, I think, pretty spot on. I'm able to suss out people that are eventually are shitty people. It may take longer with certain people. When you're dealing with this amount of people, though, it's hard to recognize, hey, look, I thought this person was a friend, but they ended up being a really shitty human being. It sucks, but at least we can get there.
What people don't realize is that in supporting these people that we've mentioned and signal boosting them, or however it is that you've been supporting them with views or interaction, or even if you're agreeing with them, they didn't just fuck over Steve, which was bullshit enough. They fucked over Bull too, and this is now where we're at.
Yeah. Goes to Recon, $5. Oh my God, I've been away. What happened to Bull? Yes, people had noticed you. Bull passed away. I believe it was December 26th, I believe it was.
Right after Christmas.
Yeah, right after Christmas last year. I'm not going to tell people the details because it's none of their freaking business. But it was publicly released. It was natural causes. So this narrative that Robert Beatty and his ilk were putting out that are somehow, that Bull took his own life. Again, evil. Just straight up fucking evil.
It wasn't even that. It was he did that, and it was our fault.
Yeah. I mean, how do you respond to something that repugnant? How do you do that? I don't know. I don't even know how anybody could actually think that would be a wise thing to do. I could even do that to my worst enemy, to make that kind of public statement. If you want to believe it in your own mind, go do your thing, man. But Vibrant Brantley for $5. Brantley $5. Heart, thank you, Vibrant. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I want this to come to fruition too, Reds.
Yeah.
We all do.
To wrap up, we should just be persistent, stay strong. We're almost there.
Yep. Please, one thing I will ask, I don't ask a lot from people that follow me. By the way, I want to thank my mods. I want thank the people that have joined the channel and from my Patreon, which is in the video description. The people that like doing philosophy and science and the things that we talk about on this channel, the critical thinking, the people that watch Caffeine Corner, DEFCON 1 Science with Landon Kurt Knoll. I'm still going to be doing Over and Under with Atheist Pastor. We're going to be doing some shows on this channel. So if you like that and you want to join and become a member, I really appreciate all those people. But I will ask people, share this stuff. Get this out there. I want people not to forget what happened with the whole non sequitur things. So the more you guys can spread this out there and get people eyes on it, the more people will be aware. Because as Red said, this is serious stuff. This is not something we take lightly. I mean, this is our lives. This is somebody who's going to be going to jail over this. It's almost a matter of guarantee. This is a first time
situation too.
So if you guys can share this, would be great. Now you have something you want to promote tomorrow. You're doing something on the Westbrook Paulson case, I believe, or something.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be going live with Karma and Aaron and hopefully Manya if she can get the time off, and we're gonna be kind of updating and taking a look at what's gone on with that. I also hopefully will have Karma and Claire Bear on not too long after that, maybe the following week, to talk about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation and where that is and where it seems to be going and how that's wrapped up. I also have art stuff going on, and there's been some updates to my Patreon also if you guys are interested in that.
And Reds, do you got anything?
The only thing I can say is no, I don't have anything else going on. There will be one more hangout in regards to the whole Bullinator thing, because do I even? Yeah, fuck it. I'll go ahead and say it. I didn't want to say this, but I'll go ahead and say it. We have one more hangout to do, and the reason why we have one more hangout to do to go over the receipts and the donations that came in is because there was a delay in getting the funds from GoFundMe because some jackass decided to report it as a fraudulent GoFundMe.
That's
because of course they did.
Yeah.
Because of fucking course they did. Now, here's some other news. Ilya was fucking on top of this shit. She was able to speak to GoFundMe, and GoFundMe acknowledged that the fraudulent report was actually a fraudulent report. There was no fraud on our side, no shit. And so the funds are going to be released to Ilya, which will then be sent to Bull's family. So whoever the fuck you are, go fuck yourself.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. There's some shitty people that do that kind of stuff.
The best that you guys did was delay the inevitable, but you have to understand something. You're not hurting Bull. You're not hurting Steve. You're not even hurting me. You're hurting Bull's family, who has done absolutely nothing to you.
Can I tell you this?
Fuck off.
Can I tell you this,
once
Reds?
in your life, just fuck off.
Let me tell you something, and I do very much believe this. These people are absolute sociopaths, and some of them are actual psychopaths. They don't care. They actually don't care. You can tell them to their blue in their face what they're doing to somebody's family, and they'll laugh at you. They're not good people. Lusty McButt, by the way, it's been a while, Lusty. She says, I love Emily Baker. I hope she sinks her teeth in the non-sequitur showcase. She said before she might. I don't know whether she is or isn't. I wish she would, because again, I want eyes on this. I want people to know the truth. That's all I give a shit about. is the truth getting out there. There's so much fuckery that's involved in these lawsuits. I mean, it's unreal of what's going on in lawsuits on YouTube right now.
Let me say this. So what's happening in the future? Just that we are going to have one more hangout to go over the receipts for Bull's fundraiser so that everything has been documented. And we're also going to get one more message from Bull's family detailing that they have received the funds and that the money was handled responsibly. That's the other thing that we're going to do. And the other thing I'm going to do is, if you guys doubt how shitty these people are, if you guys doubt it, ask Unirock to condemn whoever.
Why? Fuck! Why?
No. The reason why I'm saying that is because he won't do it.
I don't want anybody asking him shit. I mean, you might as well talk to Slime Mold. He's no honor. He has been demonstrated to be an absolute liar. I mean, that's what he does. He lies for people, for narrative, and then he spins these stories and makes money off it. That's what he's done for freaking years. Spanky for $20.
Like I said, we were able to get the funding in from Sean Hufford. We were able to get funding from GoFundMe. Then there was a fucking report that went in, so the remaining funds got locked. Now we're just waiting for them to be released again, but GoFundMe did release it, or they did side with us. Now we're just waiting for them to finish up on their.
Well, because there wasn't anything fraudulent about it.
There was nothing fraudulent about it. So
we've never had a fraudulent fundraiser.
Watch as these motherfuckers will make excuses for that, but none of them will actually condemn it. But with that, I'm done.
All right, let me read these real quick, then we'll end this. Hey, Spanky for $20. Sorry to all for your loss. I'm not in the community, but could I possibly do something for you a lot? Just get the word out. Just let people know about this case. The more eyes on this case, the better.
It's a matter of liking, sharing, and encouraging people that you know that might be interested in it, or encouraging people that you follow to be interested in it. You said Emily Baker would be interesting.
Maybe.
I would rather see Leonard French covered it.
Well, I talked to Leonard French. Obviously, French is well aware of this case. I think he's just waiting for a little bit more information for resolution. But I'm pretty sure Leonard French will probably eventually cover this, especially after Kyle goes to jail.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, especially Kyle going to jail and $100,000 settlement. Yeah, they're going to be interested in this.
We shit at H3H3.
Real quick, Rob says, "What does slime mold ever do to you?" Slime mold isn't almost intelligent. It's like a living brain. That stuff's actually more intelligent than Unirock. So I'm sorry to slime mold. That actually is an insult to them. Ben is around, by the way. Hi, Ben. Ben said, yes, that is actually Ben. You actually showed screenshots of Aya PayPaling you the GoFundMe. Did you forget before telling us just now that the money wasn't released? No. What is he asking?
I don't think that's Ben.
No, that's not Ben. Yeah, I don't know. That may not be Ben because
that's not Ben.
That's not.
Yeah,
that isn't Ben.
That's not Ben.
I could find out real quick if it is Ben, but that's not Ben. I don't think.
So for the dumbass that didn't understand what was happening, watch the stream again. You'll notice something. I say this is not the full amount. Now, why did I say this was not the full amount? Is because we were waiting for the rest of the amount from GoFundMe. So we were getting deposits from GoFundMe. Then some jackass decided to report the GoFundMe for fraudulent activity, and then they halted the rest of the funds. That's why I said we're still waiting for the rest of the funds.
Yeah. They false flagged.
They go away. And by the way, it's amazing how many of these trolls we still get. And I want people to notice this too and point this out to people. We have been vindicated every step of the way. We have provided every receipt possible. We have receipt and receipt and receipt upon everything. We are fastidious in our documentation. I've got things, most of my hard drive is just data from the last freaking 5 years, ridiculous amount of crap that I've got on my hard drive, right? Okay, I'm a little hyperbolic, but I got a lot of stuff on there. And yet we still have people coming around trolling us. It's just mind-boggling that they think that somehow it's like going to get to us. No, we have all the evidence. They're the ones looking stupid, and they don't care. But
The thing is there's this twisted sense of that they think that they're right in doing so, because it doesn't matter how correct or how much evidence we have that we were correct the whole time. They're so emotional and so emotionally attached to that they're right and somebody else is wrong that they cannot acknowledge that they're just wrong.
yeah, and by the way, please, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, because I do put that on the Twitter and retweet. I know Red's just posted something, retweet him on that. But you know, I mean, like how long has Nate been running, you know, his dishonest character assassinations of me, right? I mean, every so often he'll throw out a lob, a grenade, trying to say, oh, look, I'm going to bring this up again. Everybody's like, dude, we've already debunked this. What the hell's wrong with you? Because he relies on the fact that new people come around. But that's why I want people not to forget, because if you don't forget, then when new people start coming around, they go, oh, well, yeah, we can find out about this, because they rely on, okay, this is the way their model works. Say a bunch of shit, get it all wrong, get some money out of it, then move on to some other topic, and people forget about the first stuff. That is what they've done for a very long time. Michael King for £5. I apologize sincerely from the bottom of my heart for buying into certain people's BS in the past. I was wrong, man. Bring back NonSequitur ASAP. Thank you. I appreciate that. And
I also have an update.
Yep.
Because some people don't know that we have some backup. So I just texted Benjamin Potts. Were you in our live chat about 5 minutes ago? His response, nope, thank you. Someone was pretending to be you.
Yeah.
His response, aw, I'm flattered.
Yeah, and so but here's the thing.
I fucking love Ben.
I know, Ben is legit, like, too nice. I mean, how is that guy not, like, married off? I mean, he's a catch. Like, legit.
You think that Kyle fucked up a good partnership with NonSequitur Show? Bitch, please.
Oh.
I would kill for the opportunity.
But Kyle knows this. Ben was the best thing that ever happened to him, and he rarely screwed that up. But yeah, that wasn't him. So, but here's the thing: impersonation. Here they come around. I've been impersonated. Ben's been impersonated, and it's very hard to determine, you know, a legit account. But here's the thing: if it doesn't sound like the person, it's probably impersonation. I've already had YouTube contact me, and they've already taken down accounts for people that impersonation. So if you ever see anything on any video that sounds odd, it's probably not me. It's probably not Reds or anybody else, because we have these people impersonating us. Who does that? Shitty fucking people from that side. That's who does it. Would you guys want people impersonating you? Right? And that's what they do it for. They do it for the lulz, right? But but all it does is demonstrate that they are the people that do these types of things. If you're willing to impersonate people, you are an unethical person. Period. But anyways, we got to wrap this up. I don't want it to be too long.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting burned out already.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're done.
I just want to go meet up with Ben and make breakfast. Is that too much to ask?
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say, I go on and go meet out with Ben and make out with him. Not that I would have followed you for that. I would have been like, yeah, you're probably not as tight, but you know, who knows?
I do not like pressuring people in that manner.
All right, guys, thanks for watching this. Please share, like, subscribe, become a member, all that stuff, and go watch Cheshire stuff tomorrow on the Westbrook Paulson case. He's going to be doing that with Karma, and Aaron, who runs I'm going to screw this up. ECK People Suck is her channel, right? We got to get all these channels together and just put a list of channels, because I don't watch a lot of them, but the ones I watch, they're pretty good.
My link is in the description, but I put it in there too.
Awesome. All right, thanks for joining Cheshire and Reds. And if you guys got any questions, please leave them in the comments, message us directly, and we'll be happy to get you any information you need about this lawsuit, because if you guys want to do videos on it, that'd be awesome. The more people do videos, the better.
I did an art video today, so go check out my art video. It's like 10 minutes long.
Awesome. Hi, guys.
Thanks for all of you guys who helped out with the fundraiser for Bull. It means a lot to me. It really does.
People are asking what time you're doing your stream tomorrow before we leave.
That's still in the works. We're looking at probably doing it brain probably around 7
Eastern.
p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully. That's what I'm aiming for, but we're gonna see what's up with Manya because of her time zone.
You gotta have Manya.
Yeah, so that's probably what we're gonna aim for. Hopefully she'll be able to make it.
Yeah.
We
love Manya. All right. Thanks, guys, and good night.